Godfather, that's what that whole thing was symbolic of. You know, the whole aspect of the Godfather dealing with the family. That's why Sonny, you know, in the movie Sonny, you see how you got ATL in the back right there on the right. And then you see how his car is all shot up. That's Kara. And then the ATL for the altar. ALTAR. ATL. And then you see how he got shot all up because, you know, he's the Sonny. He represents the sun. I remember he died trying to get through the cornfield because in Matthew 12, at that time, Yeshua went out on the Sabbath day through the corn, and his disciples were hungry and began to pluck the ears of corn and to eat. But the Pharisees saw this, and they said unto him, Behold, thy disciples do that which is not lawful to do upon the Sabbath day. You see? And remember, Yeshua told them he's the Lord of the Sabbath. You know? Which I'll put that in the comment section below. You can check out the video I broke down on the Sabbath day. But I wanted to just show how in their reality, that's what they wanted to do, you know, kill Christ and his disciples for going through, you know, plucking the corn on the Sabbath day, because you're not supposed to work on the Sabbath. But, you know, they're going to tell the Lord of the Sabbath what's permitted and what's not, you know. They try to use the law against him. But the whole ordeal was he was just letting you know that when he returned, everything was going to be put back in order for the law to flow from Zion. You know, the first life, he was here to be the sacrifice for the whole world's sake, to have mercy and grace, so you'll be blessed to be a part of the holy kingdom when everything fulfills, you know. So that's the Godfather aspect of things. And even you obviously got the Scarface aspect of things, which represents the man who, you know, a regular man who rises into power, just blaspheming, how in this life, you know, he'll get his bricks, you know. You see how he was always watching the cameras? That go right back to the whole thing with like the iCarly. He was always watching the cameras with his bricks, because in Revelation 3:12, him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my God. You see, a pillar is a stone, the brick, the stones. You see how they blaspheme? And he's the Scarface because Christ was, by his stripes we are healed. He was crucified for the world's sake, the Scarface. His face being revealed, you know. That's why you had Lil Yachty trade, you know, basically drop Kara, Boo, hint Kara, and then Boo, because Boo, the fear of God is the beginning of all wisdom, Boo. So you see Faith, her name is Georgia Faith Wilson, or their name is Georgia Faith Wilson, you know, just for censorship purposes. But Georgia Faith Wilson, so you know the Faith and then Wilson, because that's the faith of God, and then the Wilson goes into the son of William, the I am that I am, the Wilson. So you see how they had to have that Georgia, like Ja, Georgiana, Georgia. Ja, just Yah, replacing Kara, Boo, Kara. You know, and the fear of God, Boo. And under Lil Yachty, because the Lil Yachty is just a boat, you know, they go into the Ark of the Covenant, the law flowing from Zion, the Ark. Remember Noah rode the Ark. Everyone, Kodak Black, remember he was like, move, I told Lil Yachty, move over, let me ride the boat, you remember? And his name is Bill. You remember Kodak Black changed his name to Bill, which is just the William, the I am that I am. I told Yachty, move over, let me ride the boat. You know, people thought, oh yeah, that's hard, yeah, that's tough right there. I didn't know what he's saying. You know, Bill saying he want his covenant back, blasphemy, you know.